Maybe she walking down the street. Maybe she on the TV screen. Maybe she on TV. La la la.
Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Be Free with Maelia B. My name is Maelia B. Oh my god. Okay, I didn't want to step in the poop. Okay, so this video is for a lot of the people who have never been to Liberia before, but their parents are Liberian, or they're just very interested in being in Liberia. They have roots, or they can trace their roots back to Liberia. I want to tell you guys a few lessons I learned while living in Liberia. Just because I just feel like nobody really makes these kind of videos. Nobody really talks about, the real raw truth and the real raw life of living in Liberia. I've been here almost a year, and yeah, it's been good, and then there's been some awful parts, but yeah, so let's get into this. I wrote it down so I didn't talk your heads off. Okay, so the first thing I learned a new version of myself that sees the world in a different perspective. So before I came here, I had only been to the United States. I've been to South Africa and Dubai, but I really haven't traveled much. I've traveled throughout the States, of course, but living in a different country, I really learned how to just look at life in a different perspective and have a little more patience, a little more grace with people, and even myself. Just being in that hostile environment in the US, it caused a lot of damage, and to be honest, it's been a very big spiritual awakening for me, and I feel like now I can really go on with my life knowing okay, I saw Liberia, I lived there, now I can move on with my life and go wherever I choose to go. And I think that's really beautiful. So another thing I learned, so when I'm back in the States, I'm going to remember how many people are truly suffering and need help from people like me who would be considered privileged. So, even though I wasn't rich in America, but, I was well off. I could pay my bills. I could live in a pretty decent suburban neighborhood and feed my child every day. And just that alone, a lot of people don't have the luxury. Some people are looking for food every day. Some people are hustling for their next dollar every day. And I will never forget that. That's something that has humbled me, because there's so many people that really do want change. They really do want a better life, but the country's so hard and the greed here is so much that, they have a hard time, and they fall on shortcomings sometimes, trying to make ends meet all the time, and some days not being able to eat. Sometimes their kids don't even be able to eat. Children that are my daughter's age, 6 years old and under, sometimes they eat once a day. Oh yeah, don't excuse this. I'm taking out my hair. I'm gonna get a new look. Okay. Anyway, so the next thing, so another lesson. So I'm gonna tell my peers who are also African and never been to Africa before that they should practice patience when they decide to come. I feel like for those of us who were born in the States and our parents, maybe couldn't afford to take us back to Liberia, or the war maybe scared them, and, they don't know anybody in Liberia anymore, because literally everybody in my family is in America, for me, per se. So I just feel like when you do decide to come, be patient, have grace, and, take what you've seen, what you experienced, as something that you can hold on to for the rest of your life. Try to absorb as much as you can here, because some of us, come here for maybe 2-3 weeks, dirty December, all of that. But it's just hold on to your roots, hold on to everything that you were able to see here. And when you go back to the States, just be grateful for the things that you have, you know? Okay. So another thing I've learned to appreciate my father's side of the family. They are Black American and Native American. So, you know, I feel like because I've had this, I don't know, this judgment maybe in my mind. And maybe it's because, you know, half of my family's African, half of my family is Black. So a lot of times you would hear from both sides, like, oh, American people, they don't respect this up, or oh, they're lazy, oh, they don't know who they are, they're not interested in knowing where they come from, and this, and that. And it's just like, this is what I have to say. Black American people are not lost. They are conditioned to what they know, okay? And they learned how to make the best of it for generations to come. So, you know, it's really not their fault. America has really done a number on the Black people. And to be honest, like, I have a lot of respect for Black Americans. We may not see eye to eye on everything, especially, you know, Africans and Black Americans might not see eye to eye on everything, but they really did pave the way for us to have things, for us to even have the privileges that we have now in the States. Because at one point we couldn't even share a doggone, like, water fountain with white people, like, 50 years ago. So think about that, you know? So I learned to appreciate the USA a little more and the comfortability and opportunity that is still there for us to take advantage of. You know, to be honest, you know, the government shut down right now, and I get that. Trump is in office, and I get that. But even with him in office, we still have the luxury to order something on Amazon and it comes in the next 2 days. Like, we still have the luxury to, you know, do things like drive to the nearest mall and walk around and maybe buy something for $5. You know, like, there's still beauty in America. And I feel like that's why Black Americans be like, oh, we never leaving, like, we built this. And I feel them on that. I understand now that I was able to travel. I understand now because they did build America. Look at how underdeveloped a lot of these West African countries are. It's because, you know, Black Americans were forced. They were slaves to make sure, you know, the place was good and infrastructure was all right and everything like that. So what else? Okay, so for the people that's saying they're tired of living in the US, really think about everything you were privileged enough to have, regardless of race. Like, this is not even about race no more. Black or white, Asian, Spanish, whoever you are. Think about everything that you're able to do in America, to be honest. And I'm really grateful down to my knees that I'm an American citizen, because look at what's happening. Like, they're deporting people. It's so much. And it's like, you have a lot of leverage in the US. Yes, it's hard. Yes, you be working like a dog, but it's like you have a lot going for yourself when you're there. At least that's how I feel. So yeah, we have the luxury to make money, just to spend it at any time of the day that we feel like it. I mean, of course, it comes at a cost of our freedom when we work these jobs, but we get safety, flood-free homes, convenience stores that you can go to the store and pay $1 for something and still have a snack. You know, like, air condition and heat, clean water to bathe and drink, convenience of ordering items in 2 days and it arrived to your house safely. You're not waiting a month or 2 months for your one item that you paid a freaking ton of money for. Yeah, so compared to here, you know, it's made easy for us in America. It's what I've learned. And to be honest, like, this was a really good trip for me and my daughter, because, like, even she was able to see, you know, the lifestyle of living somewhere else, because now she can grow up. All right, so yeah, now I understand why Blacks say we never leaving, we built this country, because, you know, it's not easy. And for a lot of the people that are like, oh, you sound so entitled, this and that, I'm not entitled. I'm just going off of my experience here after living 30 years of my life. Like, you gotta understand, I didn't just live 15 years. And even if I did, I still probably would be a little hard for me to adjust. But I wasn't born here. So of course I'm gonna have these little, you know, nicks and knacks about where I'm at and how things are ran here and like all these complaints. And to be honest, I told y'all I was documenting my entire stay in Liberia, even the days that I complained. And for the days that I complained, some people will feel me on that. And then you're gonna get some of the videos that are like, oh, you know, I love this place. I love being in Liberia. This is the life, all of that. But I feel like I just needed to give y'all the raw, real truth before I get on this plane. Yeah, there's a lot of lessons that go into like becoming the full true version of yourself once you get out of the US and all the things that come with it. You start to see life different. You start to see culture and people different, you know, than instead of being so ignorant to the fact or being so like closed-minded to other people's languages or language barriers or even food. Because there's some food here in Liberia that I ain't never seen. And I'm Liberian. I grew up in my mom's house. There's some Liberian food I never heard of. So, yeah. I just wanted to come on here and let you guys know some of my lessons that I learned here in Liberia. It was a journey. It was a journey, and I encourage people to do what I did. It wasn't easy. Money wasn't always there. You know, resources weren't always there. Running water sometimes wasn't there. You know, like lights sometimes wasn't there. Sometimes my shoes, this is my only pair of flip-flops left because all my shoes broke here. I've been going through a lot of shit, y'all. So for a lot of the people that got so much to say, like I've been going through a lot. Every piece of shoe I bought in this place is not brick. But I still stayed strong and I still was like, no, I want to fight the good fight and I want to like push through it and see how I can, you know, just maneuver and do something different in my life. So if you resonate with this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Tell me what you think in the comments. I love you guys and I'm gonna see you soon. Bye. I'm gonna go take out my hair now. Okay, bye.